A prophetical word. A prophetical word.
He's already got like 2,000.
Break free from 2020 and get moving at Planet Fitness in our clean and spacious clubs. Use our crowd meter for the best time to visit and our free app to get moving anywhere. America, your fitness is essential. Join now for no enrollment, $10 a month, no commitment. Deal ends January 7th.
They all beef stars.
I got it on mine. 1, 2, 3, and we're on. Good afternoon. Let me say Happy New Year's if I haven't said it to you already. Well, this is my first project. We're right here in the chat room, in the building, with our very first project for the year. We have guests that's here in the chat room. We have entrepreneurs that's here in the chat room. We have a supporter that's here in the chat room that is supporting a young man that has a life story to tell about when he was incarcerated, about how he got out of jail and became the man he is today. And we're also wearing his t-shirts. We support and we promote entrepreneurs. And this is his t-shirt. They're $15. And you see on the wall back there, there's another t-shirt of his. And he also has a book that tells his story. It's about supporting. We want to support each other to make each other's dream be successful. So what I'm about to do, because everybody knows me, I'm co-host Kim Santee. I'm going to introduce T. Winn and his supporter. I'm going to let them take over and let them tell you guys what they got going on. Okay, so come on in, get you a seat, and let's make this thing happen together. So, go ahead, T. You got the
Hello, I'm T. Winn. My story is at the age of 16, I was tried as an adult in the state of Louisiana and sentenced to life in Angola, where I stayed for 30 years. I was released July the 1st of 2020. So on the first of this year, I was free for 6 months. So I'm 6 months and 2 days into my freedom. After doing 30 years and 7 months. 20 years into my bid, my mother passed. 22 years into my bid, my father passed. I had a supportive family, so my family carried me through my incarceration. While in prison, I started writing books. I wrote 20 books. I walked out of prison with 20 books. Uh, the last one I wrote was the first one I put out, which is In No Sense. Uh, this book is aimed at trying to stop the next young guy from doing what I did. Um, I did some wrong things in the 16 years that I was free before my incarceration, and it warranted me going to prison for a long duration of my life.
So what would, excuse me, let me just ask you a question. So, what would you tell another young man today? Something that he shouldn't do, and what is the experience that you had those 30 years that you was in prison? Because like those 30 years, you missed part of your life. The most, everybody says your younger days or your better days, but I believe that if you get older, they're better. So, what would you tell the next young guy? Your experience in jail, like what back in the days that you were in there, what was it like to be in jail?
It was really, really rough when I went to prison. When I went to prison, Angola was still considered to be the bloodiest prison in America. So when I went to prison, it was a barbaric mindset. So I had to go and I had to engage in barbarianism.
What's that?
That's where you got to fight for your manhood. it ain't no easy pass. You gotta when you walk in, you don't know nobody. You gotta quickly establish yourself as being a fighter, as being somebody that's willing to die behind his manhood, willing to kill behind his manhood. You gotta establish that early. So I was 17 when I went. So I was the youngest person in the prison at the time. Angola had 5,000 prisoners, so I was the very youngest guy there. So I looked like at that time they were saying fresh meat.
Fresh meat.
So
So that's true story that they do be saying when you in prison, fresh meat
at that time,
at that time.
yeah. So I had to show that I was just as
So you had to fight.
ignorant as him. I had to fight. I had to do what I had to do to survive, so I could be a man.
So for 30 years you had to fight for your manhood?
Well, no, just early on, because the prison changed.
The beginning.
So you got to establish your identity as a man at that time. So I did that. So later on, after I got, after things went to changing, I just went to coming into being the man that I am today. I educated myself. Because
By
when I
going
got
to the library and stuff.
reading, going to school.
And what made you want to write a book? And, let me see that book. This is your book. This is his book right here. Where can they find it?
You can find it on Amazon. You can also find it on my website, streeteducated.com.
Streeteducated.com.
Yeah. But I wanted to educate myself because you start seeing Muslims in prison. This is really what led to me, the big transformation from Muslims was big in Angola at the time. And there was unity within Muslims. It was not only unity, it was a lot of discipline. It was unlike being a Christian, where a guy could say, I confess my sins and I accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and I'm cool. So now I'm finna go live my life. I accepted Jesus. So every night I could just repent for whatever sin I've done during that day. Being a Muslim, you have to walk that, you have to talk that, you have to live it every day. You was up under a microscope. So, and you had to change your diet. Unlike a Christian, which you can eat anything, a Muslim, you can't eat anything, but you have to walk. It was a real strong.
So it's structure. Being a Muslim is structure.
Yeah,
a lot of structure.
Yes, a lot. Okay. So that led to you, and that led you you have to educate yourself. You have to always read because you becoming a bilingualist because you got to learn how to pray in Arabic. So you learn another language. And then you got to constantly read. So you got to learn how to read in Arabic. You got to learn how to write in Arabic. So now you becoming a bilingualist. So that's educating.
So do you think because you went to prison, you got the Muslim life? If you would have still been in the free world, do you think you would have been introduced to the Muslim life?
Well, Louisiana is so different. Louisiana isn't like Texas. It isn't like any other place. It's still a slave mentality there.
Wow.
So you see segregation. You see what a white man running it. When you just get out and you can understand life, you see those things. So the Muslims that came through Louisiana in the 70s, it didn't go big. So you wouldn't have, I don't think so, because the structure wouldn't have been there.
So it wouldn't have been there. So we're gonna try to see something good to come out of it. We know what the ban is, just being up in jail. But so because you were in jail, you were introduced to Muslim, and now you know the structure. You have structure. So you try to find something good out of everything bad because that's what God does. He takes something bad and turns it into good. So if you find something good, that's a good direction because at least you can find some goodness up in there. You might be going towards God because if you're going towards the dark badness, that's not God. So okay, so that's good. You got your Muslim. So then what else happened?
Well, 6 months into being incarcerated in Angola, I got my GED.
Okay.
So
that's
now,
another accomplishment.
Yeah, I established that I'm gonna be a man. Okay. I'm not gonna be a punk.
Right.
Now I got my GED. So I started seeing the world differently. I stopped seeing the world out the eyes of an innocent kid. I started really understanding the structure of how society is operated, how it operates, things that you need to do to make policies change. I started seeing it, so I started learning it, and so I just constantly educated myself. So I found excitement in the world of books. I found excitement away from the TVs because the TVs in prison and it'll take your mind off of you fighting for your freedom. It'll take your mind off everything.
Yeah.
So I didn't get caught up in that web. I just went to doing a lot of reading. I went to doing a lot of, at that time, letter writing was big. People might not know about letter writing now because of phones with texting. But at that time, the art of anything came through writing a letter. So I became good at writing letters. And I would even get paid from guys writing letters.
Like the letter.
So I just constantly read, constantly wrote. And I did that throughout my incarceration. And it led me to write books, being in the cells, uh, constantly going to extended lockdown. When you're in extended
So ain't
lockdown,
really nothing you can do but write and pray.
yes,
Write and pray.
write and pray.
Mhm.
So being there, just wanted to get over the boredom. So I was challenged. A friend said, "Man, I don't think you can write no book. You smart, but I don't think you can write a book." So the first book I wrote was Street Educated.
Street chat right here. This is the book right here in my hand. You can find it on Amazon. And what's in this book? This is a story about your life being
Yeah.
in prison.
Yes.
And so this is the prison book. This is the book. You might just want to get this book to see what prison like instead of going to prison. Read about it. How about that? You can read about it. Here it is. People always say a person that can identify to what you're going through is a person that people would like to listen to. Because if you haven't went through it, how can you talk about it or tell someone what not to do? Well, here it is. T. Winn went to jail when he was 16. But in the incarceration, he became a Muslim, which gave him structure. He had to make sure that they knew he wasn't not a man, that he was a man. He had to fight for that. He got his GED being incarcerated. Now we're not saying go get incarcerated and make your life be great. We're just saying we're trying to pull some good stuff that came out of this incarceration because I'm quite sure he can tell y'all a lot of bad stuff. I'm quite sure he can. So you got out. So when you got out, you did your 30. And how did you do? Was the 30 that you have to fight? You said you didn't, your manhood was good. We know you were smart and educated because you was writing books, writing letters for people. That was the way you was making money, honey, huh?
Well, I made money other ways too.
Okay. Okay. So I heard that before. You can make money in jail. It's just like the free world. You just be told what to do. I don't know. I couldn't go to jail. Lord have mercy. I don't think I'd be the same when I came out. They probably give me a check because I'd be cuckoo crazy from being incarcerated, locked in a cell, telling what to do, when to get up, when to go to sleep, what to eat, when to drink. Oh my God, I just don't know how. But the choices we make mistakes, and then we still, after we make the mistake and we learn from it, the choices we make. Pastor talked about that today. It be the choices that you make that make your life be disastrous or make your life be positive. Now we also have back here because he's telling about what happened to him in prison and how he came about this book that you can go get on Amazon. What is it called again, T-Wee?
In no sense.
In no sense. Y'all support. That's what it's about. Supporting. Support. Only way a person becomes big in their success is by support. We need to support small entrepreneurs to become large ones. And the first step is to promote and advertise what we're doing now. Now, y'all see his shirt on the wall. We're wearing his shirt. I'll stand up and let him see the other shirt. And this is his supporter. This lady reached out to me and was like, hey, I got something you might like to do, talk to and talk about and have him come out. And she was so correct because when she told me the story, I was like, yeah, that's good. My first project. So can you tell me how you met this great man?
I've known Mr. Winn my whole life. I've known him since I was very, very young. And we reconnected through a program that he's president over called Hype Organization. And it's an organization that is that's reaching out to the youth and helping transform lives that people that are coming from prison. And so I joined that group and I began to support him through that organization. And I
And
learned
what's the
quite a
name
bit.
of the organization?
Hype Organization.
Hype Organization. It helps with Hype Organization helps with people that is incarcerated. Right, young
people that are coming out of
They're
incarceration.
coming out. Okay,
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
good.
Reaching out to the youth.
Okay.
And so just learning a lot about them. I begin to support. I begin to support his business. I became in partnership with him to make his business great. And so right now we are just starting, just doing some new things to sell our product, to launch our product, and get our product going. So with that in mind, that's pretty much all I have today.
Okay, and the shirt she has on, the shirt I have on, the shirts we have on, are the clothing that he sells. And can y'all tell them how much the shirts are and where, if you would like to support T. Williams, I'm sorry, where can he get the shirts?
Well, the shirts are 15, the hats 20. We got face masks 5. We got hoodies for 40. You can order them personally through one of us or through the website, streeteducated.com.
Streeteducated.com. For the ones that's a little slow and didn't get it, streeteducated.com. You can go on streeteducated.com and find all these items. And supporting is needed. They need support. Support will make him grow. He has a story. He's coming out. He's an entrepreneur. He's pushing himself in spite of the 30 years that was taken from him. Some people might say, well, they weren't taken from him. He did something. But still, 30 years is a long time to be gone from the world, but he came back bouncing on roller skates. You see, he's in the mix, entrepreneur, doing his thing, got a book going on. We need to support him, y'all. Support. While we're on here, any other entrepreneurs, anybody else that wants to be promoted and advertised and tell their story, y'all know how to get me. KIMSANTEE 436 gmail.com, or become my Facebook friend and reach me on Messenger. Now I'm going to let T. Wins tell y'all a little more about what he has going on. What else would you like to tell the world?
The book has a soundtrack. The book has a soundtrack with it. It'll be out real soon, or sometime later on during this month. It'll be on all platforms. We'll start working on a movie to the book sometime in February or March. We'll have more clothing. We have tennis shoes coming out in the first quarter of this year.
Support, y'all.
Jeans. So we trying to just touch all around, and plus Pipes. Pipes is an organization that stands for priorities, intentions, and practical exchanges. And we're trying to keep, our motto is reversing the flow. We're trying to keep the prison, the ghetto to prison pipeline. We're trying to close those doors so that kids can stop going to prison and be gone for so long away from their kids and their families and stuff. So our job is to change the mentalities of the kids within our communities. We're starting off in Louisiana, but we hope to reach the world real soon.
Yeah, that's how you get it out here, like you're doing right now. This is another way you're reaching the world to tell about what you have going on. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram is a real platform people watch all over the world. And you got to get out here and tell people who you are and say something, because if you don't announce, hey, I'm out here, hey, my name is, hey, look at me, nobody will never know. And that's what we do right here in the chat room in the building, is we allow entrepreneurs to step up and tell the world about themselves, because sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know, and it's sometimes being in the right place at the right time will get you where you need to go. So y'all, thank y'all for coming out and listening. You can replay this over and over just in case you want to tell again the website, where to get the book one more time, because some of these people be a little slow.
Amazon, you can get the book at Amazon.com. Mm-hmm. You can get the book at streeteducated.com, or you can order it from one of us.
There you go. Y'all heard it here, right here in the chat room. Thank y'all for y'all support and y'all time. Y'all support T. Williams. Y'all support T. Williams. So we're about to eat, y'all. We got good food going on right here. When we interview you, we feed you too. That's about how it goes. Thank you for stopping by. And this is my first project. Tell them bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
And y'all support.
Thank you for support.
Support.
got one more interview that's me.
Yes, sir. You know, I leave this one running, y'all. Y'all good. I leave you two running. See, we leave you two running. You two get the uncut. Hey, y'all know how it go. We right here in the building. We all know y'all still be rolling, but Facebook got to go. Hey, y'all. This is T. Williams and his supporter. Isn't that beautiful? Somebody supporting somebody. That's what it's about. Support, man. Support. Share, comment, subscribe. Support. This is the book. Support. Okay, y'all. The camera's gonna keep rolling. And then we go to my page.
What's your name? Y'all have more shirts?
Y'all need some.
She said you have more.
Yes. Okay. This is the thing. I'm going out from work today. So,
You going to Walmart?
That's where you go.
that's where you go. Yeah. And so what I do is Monday, like tomorrow, check you out.
And you maybe want to, what do you say?
Very first project for the year. We have guests that's here in the chat room. We have entrepreneurs that's here in the chat room. We have a supporter that's here in the chat room that is supporting a young man that has
I just plan.
Oh, yeah, it's just playing over here. Well, see, these people, look, they were watching. These some of them. They can't put them on screen. Look, all those people was watching. It's probably more. Let me see. Yeah, I'm finna share it. I was just waiting. It came out good. All right. Turn it down. It came out really good.
Oh yeah, Destiny. So I have all colors.
Oh, Christy was watching, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Christy was watching. Okay, so look, let me take a picture of the book. Let me do some more stuff. See, I'm gonna still promote your stuff while you go. Let me do something. I got some of this. We gonna move this. Yeah. So we can line it up on the table. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and I can take no kill. Put that beside. Don't watch over the cord like I just did. And then I'm gonna just
Thank you. I'm gonna go do it. I'm say okay. I didn't even realize it was me. Keep it somebody.
same to you.
And then I got some shirts.
The ones like I don't know if they got that. So y'all got to see some pictures. I go get the shirt.
Okay. I'm gonna come back by here and check them y'all because I know Essence is right across the street. And when I get off tomorrow at 2:30, I'm fixing to pick me some days to come out. But I'm definitely coming back over here tomorrow. I'm definitely coming back over here tomorrow.
Because you know what, these guys support. And you would be surprised if you come break that they bought shirts, they will support.
I'm coming.
They will support me.
I'm definitely
They are onto black entrepreneurs. Yes, he gonna support.
I'm definitely coming.
Yeah. And you can come
We
with me.
want to gift you that book.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna sign that book for.
Yeah, because I'm still, I got pictures, I'm gonna put this out there. Amazon.
I probably got one in the car. Go get yours. We want to do a book signing.
Uh-huh.
And I'm trying to pick a spot, maybe Elsa's, maybe Seafood Heaven, maybe both. You know what I'm saying? And
Or, like, you okay with this sticker? We move all this out the way.
yeah, we can hook it up here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Promote the book.
Yeah, right here.
Just make some money.
Right here. Right here, man. So, okay. And you my Facebook fan. So I'm Hey y'all, what's going on? Happy New Year out there. What are you guys doing?
murder and attempted murder.
Being bad, I say.
Y'all, I don't know. We ever been bad. I had started a game, and so like my neighbor was still that game. They wear the colors and everything. When I was a kid. I didn't really know how much death and destruction that was going to cause. Couldn't see that, and so one night, man, the guy got into it. I shot him, and the other guy got killed. So the dude that killed him was my father, so I took charge. I just had to go to prison. So he wouldn't go to prison.
So you took up, you was,
Yeah, I
took up.
wasn't gonna rat on him.
Yeah. So where he at now?
He in the Fed.
So he still ended up going to prison.
He went to prison. When I was in prison, he went to prison probably about 3 or 4 times while I was in prison. He in the Fed right now. So, like he come home. Well, he just gave time back in the Fed. His sister just came home. If you look at that picture, the woman in the wheelchair, when you look at my page, the girl in the wheelchair, that's the sister she's on charge with. So,
Wow. Washington Witches, you got 6 in jail?
No. And that dude that just called that murder charge up there, he had paralyzed when he was a kid. He been paralyzed probably about 15 years.
God, it's some bad people, boy.
Two
But
of
young,
them.
they was young though. They was young bad kids.
But the young dude that did it to him, he just caught a murder. When I did that one the other day, that dude that was speaking, I said he the father of his son was finna go to college. Son was really, really good. Killed him on the interstate. Killed him probably like a month after I made home.
Is it true once you kill one person, it's easy to kill another? Is that true?
But these dudes, yeah, they can do it because they don't see the effect. See, it's easy to kill a person if you can just be up on them and kill, and you can see all of what that bullet did to them. That's what you can see. You see how that bullet just tell your body moving like that?
But if you don't see that, you kind of okay.
It ain't gonna affect. See, like the average person see that, the average person don't throw up when they see that. The average person, a bullet destroys your body. It totally, like if you get hit in the head, it's gonna open your head open, it's gonna make your head swell up instantly. Your head is gonna become like a balloon. And the stuff it'll do to your internal organs. So I'm finna start showing kids that. I'm finna start bringing kids so they can see this is what y'all doing to body. So
I have a 15-year-old son. Yeah.
Yes, I'm finna, that age, I'm gonna start bringing them type of kids
So
too.
some of them don't have positive role models in their life. And
That's what we're losing. I just told you guys that last weekend, I had all male march. I invited females, but it's for the men. And that's what I was telling them. And we got to be fathers to the kids that don't have a father. Because a young boy, I don't know a male love. He just knows female love. But if a male embrace him, it takes time. Well, it'll take him away from doing those things. Because the gangs can get to us because we don't have male role models. We don't have a male to turn to. So it's other guys, and then we're going to gravitate towards those other guys. So that's how a gang gets.
That's why you need to come back so we can have a part 2, and you can start telling us the stories about jail. Because if a person that's been in there can tell a person that haven't been in there, it might scare them enough not to go. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said people got to hear it from somebody that witnessed it. Because you can't tell another person what not to do. You ain't never been there. You know? No, you can't say nothing. Because
you've been there before?
no. That's what it is. And then it becomes a family cycle, because I know a family of men, and it's just they didn't have that father role, so they in the streets doing this, and it's just a cycle. And all of them doing it, and it's trickling down till they have 15-year-old teenagers, and they fall right into it.
See, I got some partners. There's like 6 brothers, 4 of them in prison, but all of them have been in prison. Fathers in prison, and like you said, you got to break that cycle. I got a partner. They got a movie out you can check out on Amazon Prime.
Time to boogie.
It's called Time. Check it out. Even his wife was on the same charge because his wife got out. They got four more.
How about feed Marty? Okay.
They got six
Feed
more.
Marty.
All them college graduates. Because it's time. It's on Amazon Prime. I'm coming back. I'll see y'all when I come
Yeah,
back.
come back. Yeah, come on back in. Come on back to the chat room.
I'm coming back.
Yes, and tell your second. Yes, and tell your second story. That was T. Lee, y'all. He was saying what he went to prison for. Fancy Destiny was asking him why he go to prison, and he went to prison for murder and attempted murder. And he got 30 years, but he was supposed to have a life sentence. He's gonna come back and eventually tell some more stories about the do's and the don'ts and what you don't want to do in jail. You don't want to go to jail, fellas, females. Y'all don't want to go to jail. There are stories that people that have served long time. That's my call. Long periods of time that they have served in jail because of things they did when they was young. We're going to reach out to the youth. We're going to reach out to the community. We're going to reach out to the older people. We're reaching out to the world because that's what this is for. This platform is to reach out. If you're an entrepreneur of some kind and you have a story you want to tell, just like that guy, just like Robert Santee, we had the first black Astro baseball player that came in the building, and which we call the chat room now, came into the chat room, and then we had it was another person came. I can't really remember. Oh, her name was Lisa, I think, and she was saying how she had been in the sex drug thing and how she was used as a sex slave. That's another one we're gonna bring back up this year because that was deep to me to actually know somebody that actually was involved in that. Like, wow, I don't know. They just probably had to kill me because what? They couldn't have me doing stuff like that. This gonna knock me out because I wouldn't do right. Thank the Lord that I haven't went through none of that. You know, because they got that in the 2000s, sex trafficking, picking you up, kidnapping you, taking you off, drugging you up, and giving you to the dogs. Yeah. So yeah, he has his on shirt clothing. T Wins. This is his shirt I'm wearing. And we will advertise and promote your stuff. We will wear your stuff. We will advertise and promote it. Support, support, support. It's about support, 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 support. We need support. Support black owned businesses. Support black owned restaurants. Support small businesses, period. Whether it's black, Chinese, Mexican, African, whatever. Support it so it can become big. Well, y'all know I be leaving that camera rolling, but I'm about to cut it off. And I'll see you guys later on with the next project and the announcements later on. I will see you guys later. It was nice. Rewind if you want to hear it again. That was T Wins. He was 16 years old when he went to jail. He sells t-shirts, hats, hoodies, and he has his own book out. Look at that entrepreneur. All right, you saw it right here in the building, which we call the chat room. See you later. Bye.